Hello, folks. So, in this video, I wanted to talk about some of the ideas I have, some of the ideas I have for my life. So, of ideas for what do I want to do in my life, with my life. What do I mean? What do I want to do in my life, with my life? I mean, like, basically, life as in, like, before I die, the lifetime. In my lifetime, what do I want to do? So, um, yeah, I mean, this is in terms of like the whole of my lifetime, my time, right? There'll be a lot of things I'll be doing, basic things like eating, sleeping, which is key, and of course, exercise. Yeah, I mean, or else it's not going to be easy to function. I mean, it's better if I eat, and it's also not just about eating, sleeping, and exercising. It's also about ensuring that I have a good amount of eating, good amount of sleeping, good amount of exercising, and good quality eating, like eating good food, and not just enough food. So it's not just about like calories or whatever, but also about where the calories come from and all that. And then getting enough sleep and good quality sleep, and getting enough exercise and good quality exercise. Um, and I mean, exercises and physical exercises, and also mental exercises like mindfulness and whatnot, meditation. Um, so yeah, I mean that of course I'm gonna do for a healthy life, healthy living. I don't want to end up in hospitals and beds and whatnot, and spending time taking blood tests and whatnot, and doing surgeries and taking rest because of a surgery or some disease. So after that, what do I want to do in my life, and in my lifetime? I mean, how much of it is entertainment? I haven't defined it. Probably I should define it. How much percentage, or like in terms of hours, say hours per day, hours per week, hours per month, hours per year, how much of it is entertainment? And I have many definitions for entertainment. There is there are movies, there are TV series, and then games, maybe games as in like computer games. But in a way, computer games are good for your brain also if you're thinking. Like, say for example, if you're playing chess or similar, mind-boggling games. And then, yeah, I mean, physical sports, of course, is good for your physical health. So I would consider it kind of like an exercise apart from entertainment. So, yeah, I mean that. And any form of consumption on the internet, and even books in even the physical world, like say reading a book, reading articles for entertainment and not for information. Say reading fiction. Fiction can also be in some ways good for information, where you actually learn something, some life experiences from a fictional character and all that. And news, is it for information or is it for entertainment? For example, learning about someone's life for gossiping or whatever, and some juicy information or whatever, because it's just gossip about celebrities and whatnot. So, and then, yeah, I mean, the usual social media with all the entertainment, funny videos, cat videos or whatever. Funny cat videos, not the lovely ones, probably, like where you're just like, oh, no. At least feeling something other than entertainment, some feel good stuff. Even movies, there are feel good movies other than entertainment movies, which make you feel good, motivated, inspired, and all. So yeah, I mean, in some ways, movies and TV series also provide information on like some inspirational stuff, and so it inspires you, and then also provides information on how you can actually live life, some ideas. Anyways, actually, I wanted to talk some other stuff in this video, but let's just get into other details also. But as usual, I drag on. Okay, so one moment, let me just fart. That's done, yes. Okay, so what do I want to do in this lifetime? So these are individualistic stuff, like what I do as an individual, or maybe together with some people or someone, like watching movies, watching TV series, or playing games. I can do it with other people also, apart from alone. One moment. So I do want to actually spend time with my family, with my loved ones, friends, family, my partner, my romantic partner, my, say, some point they'll be my spouse, my wife, yeah, I mean, when I mean spending time with them, basically just spending time with them, say playing with them, talking with them, going out with them to some movie or whatever, to restaurants and all that. And yeah, I mean that. And then yeah, so these, and then what? So then comes work, right? So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. I mean, how big of a thing is work in my life? How much of a, like, how big is work in my life? Like, how big is the work part in my life? The work part is, I think, pretty big in many people's lives. I even have read this, seen this website called 80,000 hours, where they say you might probably spend 80,000 hours or even more. This is just an estimate of 80,000 hours, which is based on the idea that you're working for 80 hours, not 80 hours, 40 hours per week, for I think 20 years, I can't remember. And so 40 hours per week, and consider it's 50 weeks per year, right? And not 20 years, I think 40 years, from age 20 to age 60. I can't recall the exact calculation, but basically it comes down to 80,000 hours. Even if you see the 40 hours, let's say 1 year, 50 weeks, I think 14 to 50, it's basically 22,000 hours. Yeah, I mean 2,000 hours, and then for 20 years basically. So when you're, let's say you're working from age 40 to age 20 to age 40, you work for 20 years and you get already 2,000 into 20, 40,000. 2,000 into 20, which is like 20,000, and then 2,000 into 20, which is 210, and so 20,000. So sorry, 2,000 into 10 into 2, so 20,000 into 40,000. Like, you know the math. So 20,000 into 20, 2,000 into 20. So now 40,000 is already this, and if you want 80,000 hours, basically you're working for 40 years. So which is like, say, age 20 to age 60. So 80,000 hours, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of hours, and it's a lot of your time, apart from other stuff. In a day itself, there's 24 hours only, and if you're saying you're working for 40 hours per week, it's on an average, it's 8 hours per day, assuming a 5-day week, 5 working days in a week, and you have 8 hours, and in a 24-hour period in a day, 8 hours is work and probably 7 to 8 hours of sleep, then it's like basically 1/3 of your day um, for work and 1/3 of your day for sleeping. And I sometimes sleep almost all the time. These days that I've been doing that. It's something concerning. I'm trying to fix that and understand how do I work through it. So 2/3 of your day is already gone in work and sleep, anyways, and then other stuff for other things. So I mean, I would like to actually work a bit lesser to live more, probably to sleep more or learn more and whatnot. Let's see. So now let's get into the work part, right? Like you're working so many hours in your life as a usual individual. I mean, I'm a middle class person who is actually um, not gonna inherit so much from my ancestors, like my parents or my grandparents and all. So and I also don't want to really expect or depend on my dad's money or my grandparents' money or whatever it is, right? Even if they had a lot money that I don't have to work. No, I don't want to depend on that. I would, but I don't know if I would have decided that in case that was true. But as of now, it's not true, so it doesn't matter. Now, another thing is I want to actually be able to just live a simple life with whatever money I have, without debt, without credit. So I don't take credit cards, loans, or any sort of credit as much as possible. And if I do, I try to finish, like if I do as in if it is for some offer, I've done it long ago for some offers. I don't do it anymore for even for offers because it comes with other problems, credit, many problems, and it's a habit also, so I don't want that habit. So yeah, so fortunately I've not had the reason like need to get credit. I try to live below my means, way below my means. Recently I've spent a bit here and there a lot, but I try to live way below my means. Yeah, I've splurged a bit here and there for entertainment, like no movies, but other than that, not much. So, I mean, for movies in theaters, because theaters it's a bit costlier than on OTT, but then OTT I'll probably spend more time. Either I lose more time or lose a bit more money. So I'm just like, I would rather lose a bit more money, and that way I also try to reduce my losing my money by reducing that also, by reducing movies in theaters also. Anyway, so now working, money, work is all related, right? You get money through your work. Either you're actively working or there is some passive thing making money for you. So passive sources of income. So as of now, I've not created any passive sources of income, but the idea is, yeah, I could create. That's the idea. Ideally, yes, that's the best way. Passive sources of income where I do not need to actively work to make money. So, but yeah, I mean, I do want to actually do something really impactful in my life. I'm actually connecting my work or whatever I do basically, other than the other life stuff, and I would consider that as work only. Be it any kind of, I mean, social. I want to basically make my life, life's meaning or life's purpose to be like apart from. I mean, I'm creating a purpose for myself, which is enabling others, and enabling others' lives, and creating an impact in others' lives, many people's lives, like too many people's lives. I want to just scale the impact. I'm still figuring out how to do that. So there are some ideas, and it comes under the area of work, right? Basically, I want to marry social work and work, and I want to marry social impact with business and everything, and like I want to create a situation where I can earn money, others can earn money along with me, and it creates a great social impact in the society. I don't want it to get into the capitalistic mindset, but if I do, I'll ensure that it's going to be a marrying of capitalist along with social uh, impact. Ensure that the people who are working with me, along with me, are actually benefited, and the society also benefits from what I do. For example, I don't think I would start off a cigarette company. Of course, it's hard. Apparently, it's hard to actually start off a cigarette company because it's hard to penetrate into that market. That's what I hear. But anyways, I wouldn't start off such stuff because it's not a great thing for the society. It's actually, I mean, it will earn a lot of money, but it's not a great thing for the society. So I have tried to ensure that my business is doing as much as good as possible to the society. Some evils, I don't know, necessary evils, I'll try to get rid of them also as much as possible. Even if it is called necessary evil, I'll reduce the impact as much as possible and get rid of them also, maybe if it's possible. Because sometimes people just think it's necessary evil, and like they don't know that maybe it's not necessary, and like there are other ways. Anyways, so what do I want to do in terms of work? I want to actually probably do a startup and have a lot of people work with me, and I want to hire the people who are actually rejected usually, and I want to upskill them and then hire them, upskill them, and then get them to work on things. I want to depend on the idea that I'm fine if you are not skilled, as long as you are willing to skill up, as long as you are willing to work hard. But of course, I don't want them to work hard like day and night. The expectation would be just that you work hard but then not work fast. It's fine if you're not working fast. I don't want people to hustle and lose their life. When I mean lose their life, which is lose their health, lose their family time, lose their like general life, and make work as their whole life, right? Like I am trying to marry my life into work in terms of like impact and meaning and purpose, but then not everyone has to. I just want to ensure that they upskill so that they can do great work and they can actually profit from that. And so I want to actually just hire people, a lot of people. Like I'm in India, right? So a lot of people in India, like India has a large population. A lot of people in India are actually underpaid, and there are worse things, which is a lot of people in India don't have a job. A lot of engineers are coming up today and like they're finishing their college, and they don't have a job. They are looking for jobs, but there are so many engineers finishing their college, but then there are not so many jobs. And after reading a recent article about the software job market, I was surprised as to how the number of jobs decreased in the year of 2023, I think. Usually it goes up and up. Like if there is, for example, 100 jobs in 1 year, next year it will be 120 jobs. So the number of jobs increases. But then in 2023, apparently the number of jobs decreased. So that was interesting. 2024, I don't know exactly what was the thing, I forgot. But yeah, I mean 2023 was the year, I think. So this was an article from Pragmatic Programmer. I think the person's name is George Oxley. I forgot the name. Sorry. So Pragmatic Programmer, it was on Substack, and they had written this article under the name of, under the article name, current state of software, current state of software engineering job market, something like that, or software job market in 2024. So I'll try to share the link on this video's description. Hopefully I remember to do that. Usually I forget anyways. But that's the article, and so this is at the world level, I think, or at least generally at the US and all that. And I think this is probably true even in like India and all, like where a lot of US companies only work, and the way they do things are all like, if there are layoffs, usually there are layoffs not just in India but around the world, in US and whatnot. Yes, and given the population of India, India has some interesting problems with respect to employment. Like not just in software, right? Like I've seen generally, like um, a lot of jobs you're just able to replace people easily because there are people willing to work and work for less money. So if someone is working for, say, let's say their salary is X amount and they're working, and you're not satisfied with their performance as an employer, then if you fire them, there is someone else who's ready to work for the same X salary or even lesser. They're so desperate to actually just get the job, even if they know that they're going to get paid lesser than the previous person for the same role, same expectations and everything, and same level of experience and skill, or even worse, if they have even better skills and whatnot, and better experience and all that. So people are desperate for jobs mostly because of the financial situation. I think in India, I think you could call it the economic situation. I really don't know anything about economics. I'm not an economist or a person who follows the economy of the world or my own country. I think I should start doing that because I'm planning to start up. So it's a really important thing to do. The economy, I don't know. Like when I see the people around me, I see a lot of people who have a lot of debt. They have either home loans because they bought a house with that loan, or they actually built a house with that loan. Right. And then I know people who have car loans. I know people who have education loans in India, right? In India, I think education loans are not that bad, but I've heard in the US it's really, really bad. Student loans, because a lot of universities, charge a lot of money. The tuition fees are really high, and of course for Ivy Leagues and all, I can't even imagine. So the top universities and whatnot. But yeah, even in India, it's not like very simple and straightforward. A lot of colleges, for example, ask for bribes to get admitted into the college, to get an admission. So those can be really high, actually, really, really high compared to the tuition fees of the college. So for example, when I used to study, there was like bribes. They call it as capitation for some reason, but it's basically a bribe to the college to actually get a they call it a seat, basically to get a like to get a place in the college, in the major or the course that you want, say computer science or whatever major that you want. So for example, you pay 10 lakhs INR, basically Indian rupee, 10 lakhs in Indian rupees, or 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs. This was in 2013, right? Year 2013 in India. So at least in the area that I was in, of course, based on geography, a lot of things would change, and based on the universities or the colleges, right? And based on what are you looking for. For example, I think in 2013, when you need a doctor, course, which is MBBS, I think it's Bachelor of Medical Sciences or something like that. You have to pay a lot of money, like 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs, and whatnot, depending on the college and all that. One moment. So, yeah, I mean, people are in debt. People get loans from people or from financial institutions like banks or whatever, and they actually have to pay back that loan, and they end up having to be desperate for a job. And when they don't have a job, it's just the worst situation. For example, I'm currently not working. It's been more than a month, more than 1 month and 10 days, I think, since I left my previous job. I'm still looking for a job, and I mean, I'm not actively properly looking because I'm still trying to figure out what do I want to do next. And that's where I was thinking about, hey, I mean, of course, I'll try to probably get a salaried job, but then I'm also looking at thinking about starting up on the side and like, doing things. And I'm not like gonna start up probably with funding and all because I don't know, I'm not really good at getting funds. Maybe if I can find someone who's really good at getting funds, great. But then that is still like getting debt, and I would still be ruled or asked to do some things because I just got a debt from someone, unless they are happy with whatever I want to do with that money. Because the kind of startup that I want to do is going to be totally different from existing startups, is what I believe. In the sense that, not in the sense of like what business you do or whatever, but the way you do business, the values and the mission that you have. I don't think everyone follows their values, the mission, the vision, and everything. But I want to actively do this mainly because not just to earn money or make money, because I want to make money because I want to actually pay people. And I also want to earn some amount of money, but then I'm just going to ensure that I'm not going to be greedy, and also going to ensure that the people that I pay are also not greedy, or at least I'm not going to entertain them to be greedy. I'll ensure that I look at them as like non-greedy people, but if they're greedy, they can leave. If they want more and more money, it's going to be a hard problem to solve, to understand how much money do I pay myself and the people who are working with me, depending on the impact that they bring. It's going to be hard to calculate the impact people bring, especially even in a small company. Let's say you are working with 3 people. If everyone brings different kind of impact, but if you share the money equally, someone might come up and ask, yeah, I actually brought in more impact, but I got lesser money, and the other person brought in less impact but got more money, because like as in they got the equal amount of money, but then they feel like someone had X impact and then someone had X plus 1 impact. They want the money to not be equal, right? So it's a tricky problem to solve, but then I'm going to ensure that I'm able to calculate impact in some way or the other, and accordingly pay off people, right? I mean, for example, if I'm starting off a software company, how do I even like calculate impact? For example, if someone is a software engineer, they build a software feature. Even to build that feature, maybe they actually collaborated with someone else. And if they didn't collaborate with anyone else, and they did that feature completely from ideation to brainstorming and to creating the set of features that are needed for the whole thing, PRD, product requirement document, and all that, and like without any product manager and whatnot, like they just did it entirely themselves, great. Then I can actually probably measure the impact of that feature, but then even for that I have to actually technically solve that problem of measuring that thing, wherein measuring the impact of that feature, and then tie it to the business and tie it to the money part, and ensure that I can actually understand how much business does it bring, how much money does it bring, how much is the impact. Sometimes it's hard to actually put money numbers in terms of like how much a feature is bringing impact. Like it can bring some indirect impact and all that, which we might not even know. There can be some unknowns, and then accordingly then pay them and all that, right? And does that mean that feature for lifetime they get paid based on the impact it has over their lifetime. I mean, over the time, someone else might contribute to that feature. Then, how do we actually measure the impact and accordingly pay the different people who contributed to it? It's going to be hard. So, yeah, it's a hard problem to solve, to understand what is the work someone put in and how much impact they bring in and how much impact they do to the business and how do we share the money. That's going to be really, really hard, at least for me. Especially if the people in working with me start fighting and saying, hey, I got paid less, hey, I got paid more and more. Like, I mean, of course, I don't know if someone will fight and say I got paid more, but then surely someone might say I got paid less, I actually did more. Another person did less. Or they'll say, should I start working less because I'm not getting paid more for the amount of work I put in, right? And I also don't want to actually, snatch people's lives from them and pay them for the time they work. I just want to ensure that they create impact and they get paid for the impact that they create. And that way, we can actually focus on impact and not on time, and focus on ensuring that we're creating more impact in less time. Like, you don't have to work 8 hours in a day. You can probably work 2 hours, 1 hour, 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever. And if you can still create the same amount of impact, great. I don't want to look at the number of hours you put in. As long as the work is done, the impact is created, great. And I also don't want people to hustle. I'm trying to create a slow company, and as much as possible not capitalistic, or if it is capitalistic but still ensuring that I don't have the bad problems of a capitalistic company or a capitalistic mindset, which is like, do anything to work. No, I'm trying to see if there's a balance between living life and being able to live a slow life without hustling at work, being able to chill and have a good work-life balance, and being able to be a small company, not too big, but even if you are big, not probably as big as, I don't know, the global companies, but I could become big. But the idea is, yeah, I want to become as big as possible. Given India's population, I want to become as big as as big as possible. Say as big as the Tatas and the Zoho and whatnot. Tatas, Birlas, whatever. There are so many Tata companies, and Zoho is so big as a software company and whatnot. I want to actually start up like that, and I mean, I want to become so big and impact so many lives, but also ensure that when I say impact lives, not just hire them and give them money, but also ensure that they don't have to work too hard, or too crazy and hustle and be like, work is everything, life is not, there's no life, I mean, without work, life is just about work. I don't want them to think like that. I want them to think like work is a part of life, and be able to work just enough to get the amount of money that they need, right? Of course, ideally I would try to make as much as money as possible as a business, and so that the people working with me and myself can get enough money. But the main idea would be, just get enough money to live a good life. Luxurious life, fancy life, I don't know. It's a really subjective thing for different people, but then yeah, a good life and great impact wherein a lot of people have a job instead of being unemployed, and have a salaried job wherein they get money. And so yeah, that's the idea. And how do I start off? I mean, I do want to do bootstrapped, but the problem is I don't think I can actually pay someone with the money that I have. So probably what I'll do is, I'll start off with probably hiring people and saying that you will get the money that you work, and initially I'll just get no pay for now. And how will I actually give them the money for the work that they do indirectly, in the sense that I'll probably start off by doing freelancing with these people who are working with me. If they don't have a job, I'm assuming they don't have a job, and that's the kind of people I'm looking for, because they are, and the people who are desperate for a job, like not desperate as in like, who actually value a job and want a job, right? And not like, I'm not gonna work. No, I'm gonna work, but a slow life. I want to have a work-life balance. I want to earn some money. I don't have a job currently, and it's hard to find a job. No one's accepting my resume. Everyone's rejecting and whatnot. I finished my college, or I was working in a job. They fired me, or I didn't like the work-life balance, or it was too hectic and whatnot. Too much pressure, too much stress and whatnot, right? And then they left, and then now they're not able to find a job. I want to go and help them. I want to help the people who are in need and be like, okay, now can we actually do freelancing? Are you interested in that? And get them help into to get into freelancing so that they can earn money, right? So I want to actually just start off and be like, get some people and start working on freelance projects. Initially, maybe one person works on one project with whatever capacity they have, and ensure that the expectations are set right with the client whoever is providing the freelance project, because I don't want these people to end up working too crazy, right? So again, like I said, the main idea is not work too crazy, don't hustle, just go at a sustainable pace, right? At work, and accordingly be able to live a life other than work, right? Have a life other than work, and also earn enough, right? So I'll upskill them, I'll help them upskill in terms of like technology. So initially the idea is just work in software industry, so software jobs. Start with just software engineering jobs where you can easily find freelance projects. I don't know if product managers and all can find or engineering managers can find freelance projects. But at some point I'll probably have a team of people from my company, like from our company, working for projects, and I can see if I can actually hire even product managers to help with some stuff wherein product managers shine, so that software engineers do the job where they shine, and communication and whatnot I'll try to help there, because a lot of people in India actually struggle with communication with English and all that, and a lot of companies in India and outside actually communicate in English, and be it spoken English or the written English and all. Of course, with written English, I think people can start using ChatGPT and all, but then still, with spoken English, it can be tricky, and apparently there are companies trying to improve here. Spoken English, let's say you do know how to speak, but then you are not able to give a proper or good accent, and it doesn't feel professional for some reason. There are companies like I think Sanas AI which make your accent professional. But then even for that you need to actually be able to speak English, and sometimes people are afraid to speak English, or they don't know enough spoken English to speak a good amount of English, and they also struggle understanding English. Right? Language problems, communication problems, classic ones. So I'll try to ensure that there are other people interfacing with the client with like some level of communication, but of course not all, because I've worked in companies like ThoughtWorks where the software engineers themselves talk with the clients to actually get information, which is also helpful in many ways, instead of having some middle person in between, because there can be loss of information in between and whatnot, or there can be politics. I'll ensure that there is no politics in my company as much as possible, but whenever there are people, there is some amount of politics. I think I'm going to ensure that I don't entertain politics. So yeah, I'm going to ensure that there is proper feedback in the company and all that. And like, I think there's this idea called radical candor, where you have candid feedback, right? So there's a book called Radical Candor, I think. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to ensure that I can work on freelance projects initially, but then the idea is slowly, like once we make enough money, all the people in the company make enough money, and probably I'll see how to make money myself. Probably I'll work for a company, salaried company, or work on a freelance project myself and get some money. Once we have enough money, maybe I'll see if I can bootstrap and start paying salaries for these people. Um, Myself or as a group of other people, can I pay salaries? Or I mean, until then, keep doing freelancing for the time being. The idea is on the side, maybe start doing some side projects, small side projects to create SaaS software or other kinds of software wherein you can sell the software and make money. SaaS would be service. Um, if it's not SaaS, if it's just a software product, sell the product, right? It can be server-side software or anything like that, and start looking at how can you make money like that, right? So initially you want the money, but you are not able to sell a product that you created. So for now you do freelance, and on the side a bit you do a bit of creating a product slowly, and once you have a product you can start looking at how to sell it. But once you're able to sell it and make money out of it, then you can start paying people who worked on it. So yeah, I would require all kinds of people: software engineers, product managers, sales, for making a software solutions as ourselves. So I'm gonna see how to get people to do that initially for free when I can't pay them, but then once they're able to sell the software, I can start paying them slowly. Let's see. Until then, they'll have to just do it as a side thing for very small amount of time. Let's say half an hour a day or 1 hour a day. I don't know. Let's see. And 5 days a week or like 4 days a week. I don't know. So yeah, it's going to be hard to look at how to build a slow company where people don't have to work a lot, and also be able to provide a salary or some amount of money to people on a frequent basis, on a monthly basis, which is the usual expectation. But then some people might expect even weekly or daily basis based on their financial situation. So yeah, so that's the idea that I have to start to create a company. I want to create an empire, where I build the empire brick by brick myself, and I want to create an army. I want to actually form an army, basically form an army of people, uh, one by one myself. I want to recruit the whole army myself, and yeah, I mean, I'll ensure that it's one of the best companies in terms of like keeping the people happy and also keeping the customers happy. Um, it's going to be a hard thing. It's going to be a hard game. Doing great business, keeping customers happy, keeping all the employees happy and all. But I'm going to take a hit at it. I'm going to take a people they stab at it anyways. I'm going to take my chance at it, and I'm going to ensure that I don't give up too easily, or I don't give up at all. So yeah, that's the idea for my work. I've actually kind of tied my work to my life. I'm not sure how easy or hard. I'm sure it's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard to actually maintain a work-life balance, which is the core idea of my thing for everyone in the company, and I want to include myself in that. But if it's only going to sacrifice my work-life balance but not anyone else's, great. But I don't want to sacrifice even mine. Let's see how easy or hard it is going to be. It's going to be a hard problem to solve for sure, and it is going to be hard to start up and not to start up and to have a work-life balance, because generally when you start up you think about it all the time. But then I want to see people who have started up and run a slow company, run a non-capitalistic company, or in a capitalistic world, in a world where all your clients and everyone, the environment, the peripherals, the surrounding society, surrounding people, surrounding companies, everyone in the market is mostly a capitalistic, uh, mostly in a capitalistic mindset. So where money is the whole ball game, right? Money is needed, yes, but I don't want money to be the focus. I want impact to be the focus, and before impact, I want work-life balance and to be the focus, and people to be the focus. I want to actually hire people who are not able to get hired. I want to just accept any and all applications that come to my company and be able to help them get a job and get them paid so that they have a great life, right? I just want the people to have a great life. So that's going to be my idea. Yeah, let's see. I mean, I've heard a lot of great things about companies like Tata companies and whatnot, where they do great stuff and they're also philanthropic and whatnot. I mean, the great Mr. Ratan Tata recently passed away, unfortunately. But I want to actually create a large impact, something as big as Mr. Ratan Tata, which is a very, very ambitious idea. Something as big as him, or maybe even more. There are a lot of actually really philanthropic people, philanthropists who actually did some great, great stuff. I want to be a philanthropist first and an entrepreneur next, entrepreneur or entrepreneur next. And I want to ensure that I impact great lives. I mean, I impact lives and a lot of lives, and I impact their lives in a great manner. And let's see if I can impact even great lives, as in people who are great, and inspire them to do this too. People who are in a capitalistic mindset as of now. So basically, the core idea is do good and also earn money. Usually, people have thought of this to be two different extremes and mutually exclusive stuff. But I'm going to ensure that I find a balance if that is the case, or be able to do both without needing to have any balance. Be able to do both and don't do any bad to the society or the people or the customers. Do good and earn a lot of money, and pay off the people you're working with. So that's kind of the idea. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, and what else? Yeah, that's it. And I'm going to keep working towards this kind of life where everyone gets to live a good enough life instead of some people having to live a very bad life, very, very bad life, and then some people getting to live a very, very great life. I don't want too much inequality in the society. I don't want too much inequality between people. I want people to be as equal as possible. Let's see. Financially, they're good enough or stable. So yeah, and I'm also gonna ensure that if I give money to people, they don't become poor. Even if I give money to people, there are some people who just end up becoming poor because of their mindset, because of their habits and values and whatnot, or because of their expectations and whatnot. I'm going to ensure that people who work with me are going to be happy in almost every area of life. So I'm going to create an army and an empire which is actually healthy, financially, and in terms of health-wise, mind, body, and mind and body, and also financially they are healthy, and they don't just become poor because of their bad habits. So yeah, let's see how it goes. And so yeah, I'm going to create an army. So I mean, if you want to wish me luck, I don't believe in luck, I just believe in hard work, and I believe luck is just a lot of hard work. That's all. So yeah, I mean, if you want to support me, sure, just put it on the comments maybe, and you can just reach out to me, and we can see how we can work together. So that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.